In this video, we're looking at a brand new mod that lets you transfer creations from survival to creative, from creative to survival. You can copy creations in survival, and all without cheating. You don't get extra mats. You can delete creations and get all the mats in a bag for you. This is a game changer. Let's get into it. Hi everybody, Steve from Steve's Makerspace, and today we are in Survival Scrap Mechanic. Before we get into the mod, let me talk about dev commands for a second. So it is possible, if you have dev commands enabled, to export a build, and then you can import that build. The problem is you get extra mats from that. I didn't have all the materials in my inventory, so that's a cheat. I don't want to cheat. I just want the ability to build from a blueprint. So I posted a question on the Scrap Mechanic Mods Discord. Is there a mod yet for spawning creations in survival and deleting creations without cheating? And they said no. But Consolio said, I think it's possible. And then she just ran with it. I gave her some suggestions, I helped her test it, we communicated back and forth, and 2 days later, she had this mod working. It's amazing. To install the mod, go to the link in the video description, click on this, it'll download the mod, open the file, extract the files, then keep this file open, move it over to the side, go to Scrap Mechanic, Manage, Browse Local Files, then you have the two folders open at the same time, and you can see Data Survival, Data Survival. So highlight both of these, drag them over here, replace the files in the destination file. And then if you're in a world, you need to exit the world. You can still have Scrap Mechanic running, but you'll have to exit the world you're in order to get the mod working. There is one bit of code in the mod that was created by Bottles with Models, and he describes it in this video. Link to this in the description as well. And that bit of code is the ability to export a build from creative. You point at the build, hit enter to get into chat, then /export space, and then give it a name, no spaces. And now it is saved. Now we're in survival. I'll do the command build flyer 2, hit enter, and there we go. Now I didn't show you that at first, but I had all the parts in my inventory in order to build this. If I do this again, try to do it again, it says missing items. It tells me in the chat all the items that are missing. So if there's one particular item, I can go get that. But this alone is just so cool. So I built this flyer in creative. Figured out I didn't have my container hooked up to my thrusters. Let's try it again. There we go. And apparently suspension works a little bit differently in survival compared to creative, so I'm just going to adjust my suspension and try again. And now if I turn, there we go, that's much better turning. Anyway, this isn't about flyers, this is about building stuff. But it's also about destroying stuff. Let's do the other command that we've got here. Destroy. Boom. Where'd it go? Here it is. All the stuff is in here. And this bag is huge. Consolio says there's enough space in this bag for 65,000 parts. That should be enough. Now also notice there's a message if you accidentally destroyed your creation, you can rebuild it. There's an autosave. Now that's only available if you have the parts in your inventory. So we'll collect everything from the bag, and let's try the build destroy autosave, and there we go, we got it back. Now the one limitation to building something is the number of things you can have in your inventory at once. So if you got something really huge and you can't put everything in your inventory at once, then you're not going to be able to build it. But I think you'll be able to build most things. Now I discovered something rather interesting when it comes to destroying things. Let's try destroying this. And you can see I've got a spine and some scrap wood in the bag. How cool is that? Let's build destroy autosave on this. And there we go, we got it back. And something else. Check this out. Destroy. And Isn't that nice? We've got ourselves a giant rock in our inventory. So what I could do with this giant rock, I could mine, put all this stuff in my inventory, and then bring this stuff. Let's say I had a crusher right here, and I could bring it over here, put this over the crusher, drop it into the crusher, and grind away. How about this tree? Let's try to destroy this tree. Destroyed. Where'd it go? Oh, that's interesting. It took it apart. I didn't expect that. Wait a minute. How many parts do I have here? Okay, interesting. So each of these look different in my inventory, but when I place them all down, they turn into logs. Huh, that's pretty interesting. So again, you could take a tree, bring all these parts to a grinder, and make quick work of it. This mod also enables the dev command export in survival. So if we export this, we'll just call it thing. And then if I have those items in my inventory, let's just pick them all up so that we do have them in my inventory. So I can say build thing, and there it is. And as long as these are all parts that are available in creative mode, I'm going to be able to bring this into creative mode. We'll get there in a second. This is a chest, and it's got some fruit in it. I'm going to say export chest. And so in survival mode, I can copy this if I have these items in my inventory. Now we're in creative mode. I can type /import thing, and there's the thing. But if I type import chest, it says an error occurred. Note, survival only parts cannot be imported to creative. So that's a limitation. You need to make sure if you get that error, go back into survival, check your creation, remove anything that isn't available in creative mode, and then save it again. So you can see here the only consumables we have in creative mode are the battery and the gas, and there are no chests. So I just discovered something that's odd. This is attached to the ground, but if I do export box 2 and then do import box 2, it spawns it, even though it was attached to the ground. I did not expect that. What about this? Import stuff 2. Whoa. Okay, this is attached to the ground as well. Interesting. I'm going to try to replicate an error I just had. Very strange error. It's like every piece that was connected to this farm will not work now. Will not work with the export or import, one of the two. And I have no idea why. It's very strange. I tried several times with different copies of the same world file to copy parts of this spud farm, and I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I could copy everything else in that world, but not the spud farm. So I don't even know if this is a problem with the mod. I'm actually just trying to use the dev commands right now. But a reminder that you should back up your save files, your world files, especially if you're going to be using a mod, and especially if it's a brand new mod that's had limited testing. If you find that there's any errors or if you have suggestions for Consolio, then go to the mod page and there's a comment tab where you can leave some comments for her. I have one more thing to show you that's pretty cool, but first I wanted to give a shout out about Consolio's other mod. I haven't tested this out, but it has a shield emitter, a hover engine, plasma thruster, small inertial dampener, large inertial dampener, gyroscope, and a clock, and something else, I don't know what that is. It looks pretty cool. If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description. It's called the Equinox mod. The last thing I wanted to show you is that even with unlimited inventory and survival, we do not have access to saddles. So watch this. We'll do this, take that off, export saddle. But this last bit, we do have to have dev mode enabled. Let me show you real quick how that works. Go to Scrap Mechanic Survival Scripts Game and survivalgame.lua. Double click on it to open it up. We'll do edit, find, and you can just type in God. So we're finding God. And he's been in the code all along. We're gonna go in front of this if, put 2 dashes. In front of the end, put 2 dashes. File, save, and that's it. Now we go back into Scrap Mechanic, go into the world, import, saddle, and there we go. We have a saddle in survival. Now this was a cheat. I didn't waste any resources getting this. So I would suggest that you gather up some metal and component kits and go hide them in the woods somewhere so that you're not cheating, because we don't want to cheat. But you can get a saddle in survival mode. You're welcome. So that's everything I wanted to show you. Do me a favor. Consolio is going to read the comments. Give her some love in the comments, please. If you liked this video, give it a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. Bunch of links in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Steve's Makerspace.